Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be sharing a shaped easel card that I made for my father-in-law for Father's Day. And then after I show you that, I will be doing a brief tutorial on how to make a shaped easel card if you've never done that before. So let's get started. For the card I made, I used the Coca Rosa stackable border dies, and I absolutely love stackable dies or nesting dies because they come with so many different sizes and they create perfect layers. And I'm also using the Coca Rosa handworking tools die set that is absolutely perfect for any masculine card, and they are small enough to be used in a variety of ways. And here is the card I made for my father-in-law for Father's Day. And it is an easel card, and I just love it. Okay, so let me tell you how I made it. First of all, as you will see later in the tutorial, I created a card base using this die, which is the largest die in the set that I just showed on the screen a little while ago. And then I cut out this part right here with the next size die. And this was foil cardstock, and I happen to have a diamond plate embossing folder that I've had for years that you can't get anymore, but I love it, and so that's how I made that part of the background. And then for that center part, I used another one of those nesting dies to cut that out and stamped and heat embossed the sentiment on it. And then I added some of the tools to that. So you saw all of these adorable little dies that I showed you on the screen a little while ago. And that's what I used. And I cut out one of each in some foil cardstock. It's a different foil cardstock than this, but it was another foil cardstock. And then I cut them out 3 more times using black cardstock so that I could layer them and make them a little dimensional. And it's hard for you to see because they're not that thick, but it made them really sturdy, and I liked that. So I just glued all the layers together, making sure that the silver was on the top, and put that on there. And then we're going to get to the inside, so I'm going to open it all the way up, and I cut out another piece of foil cardstock, and this time I didn't emboss it, and layered that on. And then I used one of the smaller ones, not even that one, let me see which one, I think it was this one, to cut out that for me to go ahead and sign my name. I didn't have a Father's Day sentiment, and honestly this is a very difficult Father's Day for our family, so there wasn't really anything appropriate to put on there for my father-in-law. And then the stopper, to create that, I used a piece of cardstock that was wide enough to hold the tools and cut the corners to match these, and that can easily be done with let me see if I have one in here the right size. There you go, just like that, only I just cut that little piece. So but it gave me the right corners that I needed to match up there. And again, I put the tools on there, and I had done them the same way, so they are layered with 3 layers of black underneath the silver. And I just thought that was really perfect. My father-in-law loves working with tools, and I thought that that was the perfect masculine card for him. And I really wanted to share it with you to give you guys some ideas on Father's Day cards, and hopefully it gives you some inspiration. But there you go, and I'll be putting up some more pictures at the end of the video. To make a shaped easel card, you're going to start off with your card base. And I chose to use bright orange just to make it easier to see, and I'm doing an A2 size card. So this is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And I'm going to score it in half, and half of 8.5 is 4 1/4, and fold that in half just like so, and you have a card base. Next we're going to do some die cutting, and this is the die that I'm going to be using, and I brought in my mat just for some contrast so you can see better. And here's the card with the fold at the top, And what we're going to do is we're going to line that up with the cutting die but we're going to have the fold be below where the cutting part is on your die. So that way it doesn't cut. So let me get that up there so you can see. Just like that, where the cutting part is above the card or the card is below that, and you can even go a little bit lower if you feel better about it, you know, having it be that far below the cutting edge, it is fine. So what I'm going to do now is remove my mat and put this on my cutting plate. And to make sure that it stays securely where I want it, I'm going to be using some washi tape. And I'm going to go cut this off camera because I am using my larger die cutting machine. And you don't need to, but that is just what I want to do in this case. But I am going to be sticking it in place with some washi tape, and I can't really do this without getting my head in the way of the camera because I can't look directly over it here, but it appears I have it in place. And so I'm going to go run this through my die cutter and I'll be right back. Okay, and I am back. And here's the leftover piece. And one of the things that I forgot to tell you, and hold on one second, I wanted to grab my mat really quick just for the contrast here again. So as you can see, I also centered it so that it didn't cut these edges. And that's one of the things I forgot to tell you, is just to make sure that your die is centered right where you want it. And I'll get that off here in a minute, but let's open this up, and there you go. Look at that. You have a shaped card base. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take another piece of cardstock and that exact same die, and I'm going to go cut out another piece. Okay, so now we have our card base, and we have another piece that is going to fit perfectly over the top of that. And now we're going to go do some scoring. So with your card base laying flat on your scoreboard and the fold going right here down the center, we're going to score this in half. And sometimes it's going to have weird fractions and you're going to go, I can't figure out half. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be exact. In fact, this is close enough that if you wanted to do half of 4, which would be 2 inches, you can do that, or you can do it at, what would that be, 1 7/8. So totally up to you which way you want to go. I'm going to go with 1 7/8 and score that in half. And we're going to fold it in half just like that. And so this is what it's going to look like from the side. Like a tent, just the same way that you would do a normal easel card. And just like with any easel card, we are just going to put our adhesive on this panel. So this is what it would look like. And then when it folds up, this is the panel that you're going to put your adhesive on. And then we will add that to the front. And I'm getting low on glue. Okay. So there we go. And we're just going to take this. You can fold your card flat, place this on it so that everything matches up. Just like that. And so now you have your card front that you can decorate and do whatever you want to. And then when it opens up like that. And then you just need to put a stopper right here along the bottom. So for example, on this one, I just used a strip and put embellishments on it, and I popped it up with foam tape. And you can also use like 3D foam dots, but you need something to have it raised enough that it will stop that, so it will stand up like an easel. And another example, I made this one years ago. This is a heart-shaped one, and I just used this little heart as the stopper, and of course it's popped up with foam tape. And you can always use things like flowers or other embellishments as long as they are raised up far enough to be a stopper. And that is how easy it is to make a shaped easel card. Well, thank you all so much for letting me share my Father's Day card that I made. I hope that it has given you some ideas for your own Father's Day cards or masculine cards. And I hope that the tutorial was helpful for those of you that have not made shaped cards or shaped easel cards before. Below in the description box will be links to the Coca Rosa dies that I used for the card, as well as a 25% off discount code should you decide to shop there. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.